I've tried to record this a couple of times and it just makes me mad. Reconstruction doesn't just end. We often point to the Compromise of 1877 as when Reconstruction ends, but Reconstruction doesn't end. It dissolves, it disintegrates. The white population and the domestic white racist terrorists in the South, they use violence and intimidation in order to make people so sick of being in the South. And the white allies that should have been there helping to protect the newly freed people, they get tired, they get bored, there's an economic crisis, and they just give up. So that what ends up happening is slowly everything gets taken away, and it just falls apart. The Supreme Court doesn't help. The Supreme Court has the slaughterhouse cases, which said that state laws can't be really controlled by the federal government. You don't need to know the details, but that's basically what they're talking about. And then in Crookshanks, first of all, says Crookshanks is the guy that led the Colfax massacre. And the Supreme Court says, well, they couldn't prove the racial intent of the Colfax massacres. And by the way, the states can't control the individual actions of racism. I don't understand some of this stuff. Well, what it amounts to is essentially the Supreme Court is throwing its hands up and saying, I don't know. And then there's the Compromise of 1877. Rutherford Hayes agrees to remove the federal troops from the South because he really wanted to be president. Because of all that terrorism and intimidation in the South throughout the mid-1870s, most of the governments in the South now had those white democratic racist governments in place. That means that because of the Electoral College, it was a close race, and the southern states voted for the Democratic candidate, and the northern states voted for the Republican candidate. And the House race, and the race, it went to the House because there was no clear winner in the Electoral College. Nobody got the majority. And rather than, rather than fight about it, Rutherford B. Hayes, the Republican, wanted to be president. He went to the Southerners and made them a deal and said, if you make me president, I'll just end Reconstruction and pull the troops out of the South. The North was war weary. They didn't want their troops there anymore. There was the economic crisis to deal with. But really what they were doing was throwing the freed people, the Black Americans in the South, under the bus so that they could have a white reunification and usher in the Gilded Age.